on location. We're going to get to that with Brian Angelo, and this is Fight Card Live, bringing you the best flagship show for Fight Card Entertainment MMA, all your MMA news, and of course, news in general, with everything going on in this world and our great nation. I'm Joe Rossi, like I said before, your Fight Card ring announcer and reporter. And now I'm going to send it over real quick. Brian Angelo, I got a feeling you're going to bring me back some pancakes and bacon, dude, from where you're at. In a bag or what?
Yeah. I am I'm on the road right now, guys. I'm actually in Hebron, Indiana. I think it's on the outskirts of Maryville, Indiana. You know, the great people of Denny's have allowed me to go ahead and actually get on this interview. I was looking for a place. I was hoping to make it back into Chicago on time for the interview, but unfortunately, I wasn't able. Just got kind of sidetracked and so forth and so on as well too. So I didn't want to miss off on this awesome guest that we have today with Mr. Daniel Mulraney on here as well too, and I'm happy to go ahead and have him on here as well too. But I also wanted to talk a little bit more about you know, the upcoming show for July 11th that we're working on as well too.
Well, let's get to that, Brian. We're going to start with our daily news recap here. As far as now, let's start with the COVID-19. Governor Pritzker's phase plans. We're at phase 3 starting tomorrow, and as well as you may know, and the rest of our viewers here, outdoor dining is going to start tomorrow. Certain stores are going to be open. I know by me, the little things, the golf ranges, golf courses, certain restrictions. Of course, masks need to be worn. I see restaurants, stores, golf ranges making videos today for everybody on social media, so they have a heads up on how the procedures are going to go once you get there. And of course, everybody's looking to move forward with life in the best direction one day at a time that we can. Now, last week, as far as we go here for the state of Illinois and everything, we had mentioned the Illinois State Athletic Commission, all our great friends there, have not issued any new licenses or dates for shows that goes along with us, boxing, anything for that matter that requires a license by the great friends of ours at the Illinois State Athletic Commission. Nothing has changed in that direction yet. We haven't heard anything. You guys at the corporate offices haven't heard back as far as that when they're going to be starting doing that, correct? So we have no new information as far as shows in Illinois yet.
As for Illinois, at this point right now, we are still in conversation with them, honestly, weekly, if not every other day, and so forth and so on as well with them as well too. So they are not, again, as I said, going and giving out any permits just yet, considering they're only in phase number 3 coming on up. But again, it's a big thing. I mean, even for me as a school owner, I have a lot planned on out, again, except for the next couple of days for us opening on up as early as this weekend. You know, we're doing the same thing, like you just said. We're doing videos, social distancing videos. I'm doing them again, I said, this week, starting tomorrow as well on Saturday, posting them on up. But I'm pretty excited, you know. Again, I'm hoping that all the gyms, the MMA gyms, and all businesses just get back to normal as well too.
Gyms will be open. There's many restrictions there. Like I said, the
many
best
restrictions.
for our viewers, for if you're looking for a particular thing to do starting tomorrow, whether it be working out, going golfing, dining out, shopping at stores, look at follow social media pages for your locations or activities you're wanting to do. They will have all your information there. I've been checking out some things myself. Like I said, I've seen multiple establishments for different things, showing videos of explaining what needs to be done when you arrive at the location and what the procedures will be once so you can enjoy your day, either shopping, golfing, eating, working out, whatever it may be. So I suggest that for all our viewers to follow your to set up a daily course, I guess, is to say you enjoy your day and so you're prepared to go there, missing anything.
Same thing for same thing for me right now. You know, with my schools and my gyms, you know, guys, for you guys who are gym owners and so forth and so on as well too. I know Chicago might be a little bit later of an open. I think that was a rumor that it was, but there might be a little bit later.
You just brought up, boss, because that is a fact. I believe from what I read yesterday, and if this is going to stand or not, either it was in the works or it maybe was announced or going to be announced June, the middle of June, as far as Chicago for certain things. The other suburbs are going to be starting tomorrow. Not everything that's starting tomorrow will start in Chicago right away. That's
yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing as well too, is in the fact that for us, I'm doing outdoor classes, and so forth and so on as well too for outdoor groups, and then I'm doing private small groups and so on too for obviously keeping with social distancing and CDC regulations and so forth and so on as well too. So I'm hoping that a lot of the gyms are doing that. And again, that coincides with what we're talking about with July 11th, with the July 11th weekend for us with the next show coming on up. Man, again, I've lost track of the days. I don't even know what number fight card show that's coming on up. I think it's 60. It'll still be 67
years, man. I think it's the best way to say this. We've been doing it for 15 years.
We have been doing it for a long time.
Get right to the point.
Yeah, and I think that we talked. The team again. I said on Friday I spoke with everybody. We had Caesar Matchmaker on here last Thursday. And on Friday, we had a meeting with everybody and kind of let them know, hey, look, we're a go and so forth and so on too. So currently, right now, we are setting up matches for the July 11th card. And I know that at this point right now, I was talking to Neil a little bit earlier. He was saying that probably about like 85% of the gyms are in and ready to go. Like they are training. I love the spirit as well too. I've talked to a lot of. I talked to Katrina Gaitan today, and she was saying that hey, as long as the date is good to go, we're gonna be ready. We're gonna be ready in several too.
And based on that, Brian, we've had multiple fighter guests here on our show. They've been training at home. I mean, the majority of the fighters that we know of or read about or had contacted us or we had on the show, it didn't stop. They were ready to. They've been working out, doing a daily routine, waiting to get back in the cage. So it seems like they were didn't set back any steps backward. They've been ready to go forward since this whole thing started. They stayed in shape. They did the best they can, and they've been ready, like you said, to get back in there and get things going.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like everyone was kind of doing their own thing. Some of them are keeping it under the radar and whatnot as well too. But it seems like everybody was very responsible. All the fighters, all the coaches and trainers were very responsible. And now it's just getting back to all the coaches and trainers at this point right now to find out who will be, ready for July 11th. And I think that we, I don't want to make any other. I don't want to make any other announcements. There's hold on, we're trying to get Danny on here right now.
Okay.
But he we don't want to make any future announcements just yet. We want to get closer to making everything set up for the July card. So again, if you guys are interested, if you guys have been training, if you guys are ready, again, reach out to Caesar and Nilo to go ahead and actually get on this card for July 11th, and hopefully we'll come back strong. And that's the game plan, right? Is for every business, every gym, every fighter, every coach, every gym, every business owner to, after this whole thing, to come back stronger than we were when we first got into this mess.
Absolutely. And like we always say at Fight Card, we always pull it off, man, and we associate ourselves with the right people. And not only that, the right people come to us because it's that mentality, wanting to be the best, wanting to stick through things together, and wanting to bring everybody up, give everybody the opportunity to show what they're made of. And that's Fight Card Entertainment, MMA, all the way, my man.
Yeah, and I'm trying. I mean, I can't wait to get Danny on here as well too. Daniel Mulraney on here. I mean, not only the fact again I said of him representing and being the coach, the fight coach over at Clay Guida's MMA stop. They've been around for a long time. I think I was seeing like almost 10 years with them, but they have a good.
And it's out in Joliet, Illinois, out that way.
It's Joliet or Crest Hill. We'll obviously confirm with him on that. But I want to talk to him about that, obviously, and just the journey for him of being a business owner. Again, I know that we talked to a couple of gym owners and coaches in the last couple of weeks, but talk to him about that. Talk about his journey again. I said he's been around for almost 10 years now. They got great established fighters that are over there, great classes that are over there.
We had one of his top stars here as one of our first guests on your show.
Yeah, Detrell was on here. Actually, a lot of those guys have been saying, to get Danny on here. So I'm glad that we actually finally got Milraney on here. And I know that they do a lot of hashtags of Milraney train. That's their hashtag, is all these fighters. And I kind of read not too long ago something about there was a good number of fighters that if they trained underneath Danny. I don't know the exact number. I think it was like over a year and a half or something, or 2 years. If you stayed with him for 2 years, that he was going to get you to the big show. He's going to get you on TV somewhere or whatnot as well too. And it was a pretty good statistic, again, I said, for that. And again, for these guys who are growing up. So I know he's got a good established gym and wanted to kind of know where he's from. And then also want to talk to him about I know that yesterday he posted something about the things that are going on in Minneapolis with the whole George Floyd situation and everything that's going on there.
Tragic. It's definitely a tragic day in this country to see something like that happen here. I mean, it was just horrible. No excuse for what happened. No excuse. Horrible.
Yeah, that's it. I saw the video.
On the other note, today, since you brought it up, I mean, I said this to you before the show. I really didn't want to watch any of that footage. It was disgusting what happened.
Yeah.
It should have never happened. I have plenty of close friends. I've known many outstanding, excellent police officers, and they're outraged to see what happened there. I mean, you know what I mean? There's no excuse for it, for what happened there. And also, though, on the other side here today, I saw that they're looting, literally just robbing a whole Target there in Minneapolis, which also is not right either. It's not going to change anything that happened. I hate to see that happen because, you're the endangerment of the employees there, and it's just straight up stealing. It's not the tragedy that happened. It isn't an excuse to straight up steal something. Protesting and looting are two different things. I'm all for protesting. I'm all for justice to be served. I do believe these officers should be in jail for what they did. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. But I also believe that looting is not protesting. So I mean, it's a sad day indeed, all the way around there.
One of the reasons why I brought on up again, I said with that whole thing that happened, was because Danny Mulraney actually posted on his Facebook page yesterday about police officers should be training in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So learn a little bit more, again, I said, in how jiu-jitsu would have helped them out to go ahead and actually not have some situations like this happen. It could have prevented a lot of different things that would have happened as well too. I highly, truly believe that as well too. I thought I read it somewhere before that they were trying to get at least police officers to be a blue belt or purple belt jiu-jitsu practitioner. Again, like I said, that's done through for. So that's an awesome idea as well too.
The video I saw, somebody was shouting out something about a school, a jiu-jitsu school on the video. Did you see that video?
Was it?
Yeah, no, some guy's filming. He goes, "Oh, he's using the way he was doing the knee on the throat." That's what I got out of it. I was just, focusing on the poor gentleman there wanting to breathe, and then I'm hearing things there, and somebody said something about a school. I trained with this guy or something like that. I don't know. There's multiple videos out there. But I mean, either way, the result is tragic. But he did make a point. We could get into that with him as we get him on the show here now.
I hope we get him on here. I think he's having he I sent him the link, and then he's saying that he's trying to get on. I guess he's trying to get on. Hopefully, we're gonna get him on, or we're gonna get him late, or whatnot too. Because I know that he has his gym that's obviously getting ready to open as well too, and hopefully we'll get the conversation that's done through for it. But again, guys, I going back to the whole situation that happened there again in Minneapolis. I'm a high believer of the martial arts. I mean, obviously, I'm a traditional martial artist myself, and I think that it helps on often wonders in everyone's personal life, in their business life as well too. It just excels your family life. Like it gives you leaps and bounds on so many different things. And I say that all the time, especially with the fighters, right? So many people think, man, these fighters, they're brute and they're they go in there, they're barbaric. And so no, man, some of these guys are the most polite, nicest guys, you very well-respected guys against that are out there. And the reasons why they train for this type of stuff is because they need those outlets. And a lot of these guys don't fight on the street anymore because of it, right? So because they're able to go ahead and train for it, I think that that's the biggest thing. And I wanted to ask Danny about that as well too, because I think we talked to
you. Break it down a little bit, Brian. You would definitely know Sensei Brian there.
Yeah.
I mean, but fighters, they have certain strong points. Some fighters that do MMA, they love to stick with wrestling style. You brought up jiu-jitsu. There's different things. They break it down. But in the end, what people, like you said, may not realize is that there's a whole mental learning and inner learning to all those. It's not just physical.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think I was talking to someone earlier, and they were saying that outside of the fact of it, again, so with the police officers, but also them, just having that mental, awareness and so forth and as well too of what's going on. And again, not to say anything else, but there's that release. Again, I said in the martial arts, it's great for it. You see changes in people's lives at an early age. Again, I said with elementary school level, high school. Again, kids who are doing high school do the martial arts. As an adult, again, I said just for stress relief is huge as well too. Obviously, the fitness, benefits that are there. But I mean, there's so many different things that come through for us. So you go with someone who's in that type of hostile situation. Again, with the police officers that are out there. I'll tell you this: there is a former Fight Card Entertainment fighter, Chris Sizemore, who used to be from the Pack over also in Joliet. He is a police officer in Ohio now, and I don't know if what he does there, if he's just a student there or if he's one of the instructors there. But they created this program called Blue Jitsu, where it's like all for police officers learning jiu-jitsu techniques and so forth and so on too. And I think that's an awesome program as well too, that I think a lot of police officers just need to go ahead and actually do and practice it on a regular basis and make that somewhat of a requirement and so forth and so on as well too for them to be doing. I'm hoping I can get Danny on here because he messaged and I'm trying to download the app, but it's not working. Sorry, I'm going to keep trying. Okay. It's not working. Okay, so he's saying he's downloading the app, but it's not working. Sorry, I'm going to keep on trying. So hopefully we get Danny on here as well too. Danny Mulraney, again, I said they came from he's a trainer over at MMA Stop. I was doing some Facebook stalking again. I said on Guida's MMA Stop gym, and the front cover page is like all these championship belts.
Brian, not to be rude, let's bring up who Guida is for the viewers who don't know. Let's talk about Guida and his roots. Break it down for the viewers.
Guida is a UFC legend, pretty much. Again, I said that he pretty much again started on off for the UFC and represented for Chicagoland fighting and so forth and so on too.
One of the first.
Yeah, one of the first as well too. And he's an awesome guy as well too. But very well known in the UFC. You're talking about old school fights as well too. That's not true for. Hold on 1 second. I think we got him. 3, 2, 1, and yeah.
Hey,
Danny, can you hear us?
What's up?
Oh, what's going on, brother? Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. We're talking through for this as well too. So we wanted to kind of talk with you, Danny, a little bit more as well too, because we were talking about just your journey and how you started it off. So how did you start on off? Again, I said before training, before you became a coach and so forth and so on as well too. What are the roots? Where did you start on off? As a kid, with a teenager,
So I'm like a lifelong martial artist. My brothers came up boxing and doing karate, and I always looked up to them. And as a little kid, it was always Van Damme and stuff like that. And it's always been my thing. I mean, even as like a 3rd and 4th grade, all my book reports were on martial arts and different. I've read books, and there's always been a peak interest of mine since I was like a kid, my whole life.
So you were doing it. So you said 3rd or 4th grade. So what? When you were 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah, around then. Yeah, my brother's always been training my whole life. My oldest brother, was into the karate in the '80s and was like a state champ. My other brother's a Golden Gloves boxer. Nice. He was a Golden Gloves champ. So, yeah, I just grew up around fighting my whole life. It's always something I wanted to do.
Understood. Yeah. Gotcha. And so then it continued again, I said, through your high school, and then obviously as an adult and whatnot as well too.
So that's where it gets a little that's where it gets a little shaky. So high school, that's when the things went bad. So it was actually martial arts that kind of saved me. So I fell off the path around middle school, and then martial arts. It was really funny how it happened. It was actually through a church program. They did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the gymnasium, and yeah, I was like 17 years old, and the coach let me train for cheap at first, and it brought me back in, and I haven't stopped since. It kind of just consumed me, you know. And
yeah. Right before you got on here, we were just talking about that, about how the martial arts in itself, even if you're a kid in elementary school or a high school student or an adult, just how martial arts can change you. Again, I said, and you just said it right on it. You can save you as well too on that.
Yeah, for sure. I needed something that had energy, and the big thing was having like positive male influences around you constantly, calling you out, checking on you, and stuff like that. The community, it's the martial arts community is different. When you train people every day, you develop these deep bonds with these people that I didn't really get from anywhere else. You know what I mean? So that was
awesome.
Huge.
Yeah,
Daniel,
I highly believe it. Go ahead.
How did you make that jump then? You were competing, and then how long has it been that you've been training? And what did you feel you needed to change mindset wise from competing and training? Because you got one heck of a training center there, MMA stop.
Right. So I've always been like a martial arts mental guy. You know what I mean? I've always been into the technique and whatnot, more so than the actual fighting. So yeah, I didn't make it too well as an amateur fighter. I had a few amateur fights, and I was one of those guys. You got to be a performer, and I'd freeze up. Performance anxiety would get to me. But I was such a student of the game. I was a gym guy. You know, I'd always help everybody else get ready for fights. And then all of a sudden, I started cornering guys. I used to be the team No Ego, and I'd help with some of the pros and stuff like that. And, yeah, and then yeah, when I started working here, it's just kind of perfect storm, you know. Yeah, just
I mentioned to Brian, and I'm hoping you were watching when we had DKO on here. I mean, one of your success stories, definitely on his way up here with Fight Card. How does it make you feel that you're a part of that you're being a part of somebody's not only career but big motivation in his life like that?
Oh man, it's just as rewarding to me. A lot of these kids that I came up with started training. That's what's different about here than a lot of these fight gyms. I train these people from kids. I teach the kids class as well. So I've had some of these people. You might get somebody who's 18 and 0-0 who's been training with me for 6 years. You know what I mean? So the pros started learning when I started learning, and his dream's my dream. So everything that happens for him is happening for me. It's it's all the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so
and he's such a blessing as well too.
Your strongest suit and energy to do good for everybody else was being a trainer, and it's been great for you. We just wanted to make sure your location. You guys are in Joliet, correct?
No, we're in Crest Hill.
Oh, Crestwood.
See, that's what I said.
Crest Hill. It's right outside Joliet.
Yeah.
Oh, Crest Hill. Okay, I'm sorry. We were deciding. We knew it was in that area. We just want to make sure for our viewers. They ever wanted to come by and check you out over there out that way, my friend, for sure.
And the gym itself has been there for, I'm guessing, about 10 years. Is that what it is? Or almost 10 years now?
9 years. 9 years in April. So
I saw that. And I was saying to Joe that I was doing some Facebook stalking about on Clay Guida's MMA Stop page. And I mean, you guys got title belts that are there, trophies and so on and so on too. I saw the pictures of the kids competing in Naga and obviously MMA and so on and so on as well too. And that was my biggest question as well too. So do you teach all of the classes from the kids classes all the way on up to the MMA fighters as well too?
Yes, sir. All the classes. I do have some assistant coaches. I do have coaches that teach other classes and cover classes for me as well. I got a great staff. I got Coach Mike Corey. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Former Bellator fighter. Mike's a stud. I've learned a lot from him as well. So me and Mike go back, man, 15 years. Like a long way. So yeah, it's me, him, and then I got everybody plays their part. It's not, I teach every class, but everybody plays their role.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a great team and great family to go ahead and actually make it. And you truly have done that as well too. So again, how did that start on off for you? Like I think I asked you this before as well too. Is Clay Guida's gym? I mean,
right.
And you're the head coach there. Are you the head trainer there?
Yeah, so I'm the head coach, and I'm the. So it started. It's funny how it happened. So way before UFC gyms were like a concept, 10 years ago, we wanted to have like a fitness gym. We had a bunch of different trainers. Everybody taught a different class. All the other guys were MMA fighters, and they were getting wrapped up in their careers and whatnot. And I was the only person who was like all in on this place. So eventually, I ended up stepping up and taking the head coach role. I teach everything now. I do everything here, as well as all the personal.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing too. So you being the head coach and so forth and so on too. What does your day look like? What time do you usually get over at MMA Stop, and what time do you leave? Are you the first one in, last one out?
My days are nuts. So I wake up early and I'm on the emails, I'm on the messages, doing the marketing and all that stuff. I usually roll in the gym around 1, 2 o'clock, and I'm here doing privates throughout the day. Teach all the classes. Classes are over, then it's 10 o'clock. I got to wrap the place up. And, I'm a control freak, so I'm here, and I don't leave until the gym's spotless. And my days are.
So with you being there, again, I said 10 hours, man.
Oh yeah, and then the Saturday I come and I'll do the kids in the morning or at a grappling tournament in Naga or something, and then I'll be halfway across the state somewhere doing a show that night, or a different state somewhere, or at your show somewhere. So it's a lot of work, but I enjoy what I do. So.
Daniel, we're definitely hoping to see you soon at our shows, man, when you're stars. Absolutely. That's a fact, my friend.
Yes, sir.
That truly shows as well, too, man, your passion, your love for it as well, too, brother. I rarely get to see it. Like I said, I get to see you during the weigh-ins pretty much. And then during fight night, obviously, we're all running around like crazy. But,
right.
Like you, especially with that, you're right on it with all those guys as well, too. I saw it again. I said you're there with all the kids. During this time, like I said, with the pandemic and the shutting down of the gyms, how are you feeling, dude?
Oh man, it's hard, but you got to look at things. You got to look at the bright side of things. You could use it and fall apart. And I've witnessed. I see around some of my colleagues, they're not handling it too well. Or you can use it as an opportunity. Because I'm so busy, like I told you, my schedule, I never really had time to stop and think about things and try to and write out things that I want to do and pursue changes that I want to do in the gym. So I've had time to work on repairs, work on curriculums, connect with people, spend more time with my family at home. Since I'm always at work, it's really good to spend some more time with my kids. I got 4 of them.
Brother.
So,
there you go. Yeah.
My fighters took the time to level up on their fitness, running, hitting the weights, bulk up, put some armor on. There's a plus. There's a bright side to everything, and I think we're gonna come out of this strong.
We were just talking about that, Brian and I, before you joined us on the air here, that the majority of the fighters, coaches, trainers have definitely stayed in shape and prepared to move forward. We're ready for the whole situation when this was all behind us and we went back to the way things were. Now, me being the reporter, as I say on here, I got to get my shovel out here because I got to get the scoop from you, Daniel. Now, being from one of the top, you're the head trainer of one of the top gyms around, MMA Stop. We talk about DKO. We brought up Cesar Pinto. Our matchmaker here last week. Brian also had mentioned about any fighters wanting to try to get on our cards. Do you personally have any future stars you feel in the making there at MMA Stop that might be ready to come up?
A lot of future stars in the making. So I got this whole new generation.
I gotta get to the scoop.
Yeah, I got some 16-year-olds that I watch whoop on grown men on a consistent basis. I mean, we got kids who've been winning grappling expert levels since they were 8 years old. We can't wait to get in. It's their dream to fight for you guys. You know what I mean? So the whole next generation, we're gonna definitely shine.
That's awesome. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that you planted those seeds already so early in the game as well too. And Detrell is Detrell, Brianna. I think even like who are those the other younger guys as well too.
I got Chris. I can't forget about him. James. Yeah. I got Ant coming up. Ant Jackson. I got some kids you guys never even heard of yet that are the straight killers on the mat, stand up everywhere. So
and I think that's exactly the best thing that I've seen as well too is for you is that you've it kind of planted those seeds so early in the game for them as they come off, and you're continuing to go ahead and grow that. I've seen your classes, I've seen against the kids' bases and so forth and so on too, and just that progression from one to the next as well too. Danny, I think you're doing an awesome job out there, brother. And again, so are you reopening up fully? Well, not. I mean, outdoor classes. Are you doing something different come this weekend?
Tomorrow is going to affect you, Daniel. Tomorrow's the 29th. We brought up it's a little bit possibly different in Chicago, the middle of June. Everybody else starts tomorrow. Their phase 3 in the suburbs. How are you? Have you guys got a whole situation ready there at MMA Stop?
Yeah, so it's kind of worked out for us. We happen to be next door to a gigantic. It's like 4 football fields, vacant lot.
Nice.
I could hold as many. I got this giant staff. I can hold as many classes as I want. We could, and then I got multiple rooms at my gym. I don't know if you guys have been here, but we got multiple rooms. So even when we do open up, we could always accommodate any size classes.
Yeah.
I got a big enough staff. We could divide how we have to. And yeah, we're more than ready to follow whatever guidelines we need to, but we're definitely open as soon as we can.
And that would be tomorrow. Then you're ready to go.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. I'm here now, getting everything ready. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So Danny, and I want to end it again. Let's say with this because I see this hashtag all the time of this Milraney trained. This Milraney trained. You know, all these fighters are gonna say that says Milraney trained. I mean, how awesome is that for you? You said it yourself. You know, like you froze up in the cage and stuff well too. And you know the performance side of it as well too. But you like to go ahead and train. You like now you have all these established fighters. I've got so many people that have messaged us and says, you know, Coach Daniel, you know, like a Milraney train. How does that feel, man? You know what I'm saying? Like that you changed so many people's lives and made it so much better, man. Like you've done that, like I said, from the kid that was 17 years old that said, hey, I was kind of down the wrong path. Martial arts changed my whole life. And now you're doing it for so many other kids and so many other adults as well, too. How's that feel, brother?
Right. It really can't get any better. If I'm living life exactly how I want to live it, and I know how rare that really is, man. And to see it all going to fruition, and see these kids achieve, or see these kids get inspired to go as far as they are. There really isn't a better feeling. There really isn't, man.
Yeah. My wife says all the time because I have 2 kids as well too, and they're in the martial arts as well too. But she's like, they're not going to jump in the cage. They're not fighting when they get older. Your kids, you have 4 kids, you said?
Yeah, I got 4 kids. Yep.
Are they going to be fighting in the future?
Absolutely not. My oldest son shows they show a lot of interest, man. But man, this is a hard life. It's a hard life. But everybody's got to train.
Started the karate training, but I don't see her going anywhere past. You know, she's more into the Girl Scouts and the dancing recital. But we let her do the karate. Me and her mom. I'm a single dad, you know, and me and her mom are like,
yeah, they definitely got to defend themselves.
Yeah,
they definitely defend themselves.
And it's not just about fighting, man. It's the lifestyle. MMA isn't a sport. It's a martial art, man. And the martial arts go beyond what happens in the cage. It's a lifestyle. About 1% of my students actually compete. You know what I mean? Most of my students live the lifestyle. So on top of these kids getting to where they want to be and winning all these medals and titles and whatnot, I see people who can defend themselves now. I see people recover from PTSD. People lose thousands of pounds under this roof. On a constant basis.
Actually, Brian and we were talking before you joined us here on the air, and we had said, you know, you talk about MMA. People come in with different styles, grappling styles, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, things of that nature. There's a ton of them. But also, what people don't realize that it's also half mentality and spiritual as well. It's not all physical.
It's more so than half. You could have all the talent in the world. If you don't have the right mindset, it's worthless. You know, you gotta be steered in the right direction. You gotta have the right attitude, and then you gotta have the ability to perform. You know. Yeah,
for sure. You know, Danny, again, I said, man, I appreciate you being on the show here today as well too, man, for Fight Card Live. I can't wait for you to reopen on up. I'm hoping, again, I said Caesar's reaching out to you guys to go ahead and get your guys. We'll see some of the MMA Stop fighters on our July 11th card. As well as the future cards. We have 4 shows planned out towards the end of the year, man. And again, it's nothing. It's not a great show unless you guys are on the card, man. So I hope to go ahead.
Right, and appreciate it, man.
Too. Anything you want to, Daniel? All the best tomorrow in your reopening. Like I said, I can't wait to bring out some of those MMA stars and interview them as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Danny, anything you want to go and say to all the fans or anyone else watching as well too?
Nah, man, I appreciate all the support, especially everyone trying to support the sport through these tough times, especially my members that stuck with us and there's all this uncertainty. And hopefully we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully this sport and all us is stronger than ever, you know?
Awesome.
Much
All
love
right,
to you guys,
appreciate it,
man.
Danny.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you,
Okay,
Daniel.
man, we'll see you real soon, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, guys. So that was Mr. Daniel Mulraney. Again, said from MMA Stop.
He's a real class act, Brian. Really, a real class act for sure.
Oh yeah. Again, I don't really get to go ahead and see some of the coaches at the weigh-ins. Some of the coaches even, again, I said they'll let the fighters go ahead and go to the weigh-ins because they know that they're going to be taken care of, and so especially for a Fight Card Entertainment show, Fight Card Entertainment, we try to give it again that family type, that reunion type thing. So they're always in good hands. But again, for Danny, I only see him really at that time, and then I'll do the hug and the point finger again, I said with a picture.
Yes,
I see him during the fight times, but he is an awesome guy as well too, really down to earth as well too, and again, it's so weird because he's so calm and collect, and then he has a bunch of, like, I don't want to say animals, but again, like Detrell, Chris, Anthony, and as well too, like Brianna.
Absolutely.
He you know what it is? He's like the Phil Jackson, of the squad, right? He keeps them all leveled and says, hey, you know what? He seems cool and calm and collect.
He's
I don't know.
very down to earth. You know what? He's got that mentality. There's a time and place for everything, and he knows when to use what mindset, when and where. Like you said, it's more than half physical, this whole business world, if you're competing, so absolutely.
Yep. Joe, I appreciate you, man. Again, I said, man, there's another Fight Card Live.
Hey.
Come on a little bit later.
Is it your birthday? Because they give you a free breakfast over there. Why don't you tell me it's your birthday?
No, it's not. It's not my birthday. Guys, July 11th.
I know it's not your birthday, but still, I'm kidding. Hey, Ryan, back home, my friend. Be safe. It's supposed to be storming. You're going to be coming into some storms, so be careful driving, my main man. So
really great.
Yeah.
Rain. Now you're a weatherman too. So now you're.
Hey, you know what? My calendar takes me everywhere. So.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for Fight Card Live. Make sure you guys looking up for July 11th, and we'll see you guys again. Said every Thursday 4 o'clock for Fight Card Live.